to venture forth into the dark, grim work that awaited him. Sunlight spread across Sam Rockwell's carpeted bedroom floor like a conquering army, halting on the sleeping face of the private investigator. The light penetrated his slumber and caused him to jump out of bed in panicked confusion. Dark hair bobbed and radiated outward to each point of the compass as Sam spun frantically in circles, looking for his watch. The sun shone like a soothsayer in his room, telling him he was going to be late by the angle of light creeping into his room. Fumbling fingers discovered the watch on the nightstand, the same spot where he laid it down the previous night, and the last place he thought to look. Sam peered at the timepiece with squinting eyes and, making no sense of it, abruptly turned it right side up. 8:15, I can still make it. A blur of long limbs and underwear visited every corner of the room. He gathered up assorted pieces of clothing, set out with care the night before, all for the purpose of being on time. So much for that. Sam attacked his mouth with the toothbrush like a hoodlum with a switchblade. He lost precious seconds debating whether to shave or get by with a day's worth of stubble. He hastily drew down his razor blade, achieving 3 neat passes before he was forced to slow down by the nick administered to his chin during the 4th. Frustrated by the care required not to slit his own throat, Sam applied to the cut a small square of toilet paper, which quickly developed a bullseye-like red dot. He was nearly to the stairs leading down to his parents' newly remodeled living room — insurance didn't cover Soviet spies crashing through a picture window — when he realized he'd forgotten his pants. No problem, I can make it. Sam turned and hurried back to his room. His tan pants waited for him, crumpled on the bed. He somehow entangled his long legs in putting them on and jumped up and down several times to keep his balance while pulling them up. The noise prompted an inquiry from Sam's mother, Alice, somewhere downstairs. "Sam?" "Fine, Mother," Sam shouted. "Just a couple mice running across the floor. They're awfully big. You've spoiled them." Fastening his belt as he went, Sam burst into the kitchen and crammed a waiting slice of toast into his mouth. He pressed the hasty breakfast into his cheek and presented the mound to receive his mother's kiss. "You should have woke me up." "What?" asked Alice. The bread obscured his words. Sam swallowed. "I said you should have woken me up." Alice shrugged her shoulders, her pearl necklace swaying slightly from the motion. Clearly she'd been up and dressed for some time. "It wouldn't exactly be fair to Amelia if I aided you, now would it, Samuel? I'm your only son. You should be rooting for me." Sam bit another chunk of toast and held it in his hand, making his way to the coat rack. "She's my future daughter-in-law. I'd say that evens things out. And besides, a bet's a bet, and you're so far behind schedule that there's no way you'll win. Why not slow down and actually chew your food?" Sam gave a derisive laugh, then pushed the half-chewed toast into one side of his mouth, puffing out his cheek like a ground squirrel hoarding seeds. "Clearly, Mother, you're unaware just how fast I can drive. I'll make it up on the road." "Be careful, Samuel." "I won't. Remember, Amelia's coming over for dinner tonight." Sam slammed the door shut. "I hadn't forgotten," Alice mumbled under her breath as she walked to the entryway, Sam's hat in her hands. Outside, Sam practically jumped into his beloved black Cadillac. Sam's jubilant smile turned into a concentrated frown as he turned the keys in the ignition. Instead of that breathtakingly glorious vroom, he was greeted by a disconcerting whine from the engine. "What?" Sam protested. He was about to try and turn the motor over again when he caught a glimpse of his mother standing on the front porch waving his hat, a mocking grin accentuating her carefully coiffed hair. "The world's turned against me." Sam jogged the 30 feet up the driveway back to the front door, a wan smile answering his mother's triumphant grin. "I believe that," he snatched the hat from Alice's still waving hand, "belongs to me. Though I'm sure you'd make it work if you ever want to borrow it." "Don't look so sour. You've got no one to blame but yourself." Alice smiled at her son, somehow so tall and dashing, a more strapping image of her late husband, before he went gray anyhow. She wanted to ask Sam to stand still for a moment so she could just look at him, admire the man he'd become, the man who somehow, impossibly, grew up from being her little boy and was on the verge of beginning his own family. "What's that look?" Sam asked, feet pointed at his waiting vehicle. "Only 3 more weeks," his mother sang. Sam smiled and opened his mouth to reply.